It's always fun hearing your own voice. Moving. Welcome everybody to our first look at Faroe Islands King of the Sea Day 1, either EU and NA. So it's taken us, we started at 8 a.m. So it's taken us 8 hours to get to this point.
8 hours to get here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at the setup here. For GGWP, we've got Destroyer Velis in a Gdansk. One of the first times we've seen Gdansk. I think we saw it earlier today once. Flying Doge in a Kleber. Gun build, of course. Fuzzballs in the Daring. We saw him do a lot of crazy things in the Daring in previous seasons of COTS. Yoshi in a Manitar with torpedo specs. Huh? Okay. And then we've got Mabuki in the Kremlin. Basically just your typical full tank build, including the DCP mod. Heading towards this to middle to support is Gibus's Moscow, the unique upgrade. Behind him is Godoza's Vermont with your typical American sniper build. And on the other side is Bullet Justice's gearing with the typical COTS build setup. And there is Greifer in the Minotaur. This is also another Minotaur. Oh, goodness. We're all challenging our inner Tim Allen.
Have I ever seen a team run double Minotaur? That's wild.
Usually you see one.
Love it.
Yeah.
Usually one is enough, but double here. Well, opposing them from the south spawn in red, we have HER pushing a Daring. That's Jiuming here, headed up to B. Across the cap from Fuzzballs. Fairly typical build, nothing terribly unsurprising there. Have a look down at their quote-unquote home cap, as Zaf likes to call it. That's GG in a gearing, very much in a fairly standard COTS, but a little bit of extra emphasis on the smoke there, running smoke mod in slot 3. Backed up by UMP45's Des Moines, legendary module, radar, and accuracy, all to go along with top-grade gunner. Behind them, Sir Humphrey's St. Vincent in Furious configuration, kind of maybe a somewhat throwback to the Conqueror builds we were seeing earlier. Happy Fantas Montana, very much survivability and accuracy. Up north, Kimideo's Worcester, and I'm just going to call this person Binary's gearing.
I call them numbers.
Yeah, numbers. There you go. I like it. Both playing just outside the radar, almost like they left the smoke up as a ploy.
Yep.
Now getting caught by Yoshi's radar very briefly. As very quickly, of course, GGWP picking up the B cap, picking up both teams grabbing their home cap, and then GGWP taking the early advantage by grabbing the B cap in the center of the board.
That's right. I just realized now, if you think about it, they just found her numbers. Get it?
Oh, I like it. I see what you did there.
This is what happens when you stream for too long. All right, moving. We have contact in the middle of the B cap there. The enemy Daring, or hers Daring, got detected there. It's Yuming.
Yep, that was Gibus's Moscow radar playing from behind the hardcover island back there. No way to even know he's present.
Yep.
But certainly available to contribute to the defense of the cap there.
Torpedoes narrowly missing Zuchi by the Sea, gearing.
The two ships that we didn't talk about in the her lineup, Zaf.
The Marseilles?
We have to talk about now, right? Because it's this double Marseille push working up the bottom end of the map. That's Mouse Housey and Ashen Witch. And both of them, their speed boosts are on cooldown, coming back up in 50 seconds. The lead ship there, that's Mouse running the Hydro.
Neither are detected, too, by the way.
They're not detected at present. You have to wonder if they were spotted earlier. And
they
that I don't know.
They have not been yet. If they were spotted earlier,
I don't think they have.
They'd have a dark exclamation point next to them. They have not been spotted. Now, Bullet Justice has radio location, and soon it will switch from this Des Moines to that Marseille. That might make them think that a gearing is pushing that side. They have no idea that's actually double Marseille.
Yeah, I'm going to be very curious to see how this plays out, to put it like. All right, there he is. The lead Marseille, Mouse, now lit.
Yes.
Caught by Bullet Justice on the surface. At about, 12, 11 and change, about right for a Marseille. And so now I'm going to be curious to see how GGWP is going to react to what is very obviously a push. Cadoza's Vermont shells coming in. Mouse already on the rudder to try and mitigate as much of that as they can. Haven't spotted Ashen Witch yet, but you have to know that they they have to believe that both of these Marseilles are operating in tandem.
Generally, you put them together, right? If they're going to push, if they're going to kite, you can make the argument to spread them out.
Yep. Mouse's Hydro is expiring. That means Ashen should put I say her, I don't know if it's a her, but whatever. Put theirs up in a moment.
Both using
of them
their
popping. Yep. Coordinating the speed boost there. Still no Hydro. Looks like they're going to thread the line right through these gearing torpedoes with no big losses. So a big her push here through the bottom end of the map, Zaf.
I like
the St.
it.
Vincent, and the Daring, the Gearing, the Des Moines, all slowly moving up, using these Marseilles almost as stalking horses a bit.
Now, while this is happening, what her needs to do is also push either the middle or the A cap.
Yeah.
They really can't afford to just let GGWP rotate to deal with this
Yeah,
Marseille push.
I agree. I would like it better if I saw the Gearing being a little aggressive back here at A as well.
Yes.
Now he's got to be a little cautious, right? Because that Gdansk has still got the smoke radar trick. In fact, now the Gearing is lit. Gdansk torpedoes going in. Gearing's actually turning. Oh, I don't like this. Oh no!
It's turning right into those torpedoes.
Numbers is in real trouble right here. Going to take at least 2 of these. Oh, yep. There's 2. There's the smoke.
Right.
Here comes the radar. Radar's already up. Yep, there it comes.
And there it is.
Could be the end of the Gearing. Should be the end of the Gearing, honestly, if they play this correctly.
Yeah, I mean, numbers is already slowed down, so now there's the problem of trying to get that movement. There's the next radar.
There it is. There it is.
And just like that, Mabuki finds her numbers.
And so that's the peril, right, of starting the smoke and then looping back into it, you know, getting between a destroyer and a high-value target in smoke and wandering into torpedoes that weren't even meant for you.
Meanwhile, Yuming's Daring has gotten into the home cap.
Has indeed.
And opens up and smokes, so loses an awful lot of hit points for doing that. That feels bad.
Coughing up big HP here for, like, very little gain.
Yep. A lot of people will do that. They want to shoot something, and so they'll start shooting, and they'll trigger the smoke, and they haven't slowed down yet. You have to slow down to below 12 knots before the smoke will encompass you while you shoot.
Pushed off of A, Happy Fantas Montana is into B, Zath. I love this play.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely what we were just talking about, right? You have to take advantage of this Marseille threat.
Yeah, the focus that they're putting on defending the decap, you have to try and take advantage of it somewhere else as well.
Yes.
My chat is asking, is that the one and only Griefer Africanus? The answer is, yes, it is.
Africanus.
The push is gonna bear fruit. They're gonna pick up D, but they may lose the St. Vincent here, Zath. He's under a lot of pressure right now.
I'm watching him. He's got a super heal up.
Yeah, but it's about to expire, and he's still not even gonna make it back to half HP.
Right.
I mean, GGWP knows what a high value target that is.
Well, and you can already see Fuzzballs has got that conga line started.
Oh, yeah. So now the only caps on the board are all owned. The only caps that are capped are all owned
by her.
Starting off on the back foot, losing 2 caps early, but now the only ones ticking up points here as we approach the halfway mark of the game. Kimidayo's Wooster, the last surviving ship up here today, trying to get out of here. Yoshi's Minotaur trying to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, now this is a reload build Wooster, and you can see that, again, I think the range is going to be the better choice, typically, in COTS. You just get so much more room and flexibility to maneuver.
Indeed. Humphrey now moving up into the conga line. Torpedoes, Zath. Looks like the end of the St. Vincent right here. Is he going to swing out of them? He is!
Whoa!
Wow. Just barely dodging them behind the screws. But unfortunately, he's now very exposed to several ships. More incoming fire. Next heal 10 seconds away. Is he going to make it to that next heal?
He will make it to the next heal. He'll heal through this fire, and then he will die. Because it's his last heal.
It is. They're pushing. They're really doing good. A number on Godoz's Vermont.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. 3K, 1.5K, and burning.
He's going out. They've got him on fire again. The Marseilles, I think, have finally just pushed him out. As now the lead changes there. Her now in the lead. Both teams on a kill. Her with a significant cap advantage here. 9 minutes to play.
2 Marseilles are getting together. They're forming Voltron.
Along with the gearing, apparently. We need all the limbs. Oh, they're moving up into the gearing smoke now. I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they did that earlier. They used the gearing to make that smoke snail. But the thing is, Ashen Witch is like, nah, I don't need this. Ooh,
Yep.
there goes the St. Vincent.
St. Vincent moves up into the Kremlin's guns and pays the price. Wushta Kimideo back there not really being effective, continuing to run south.
Griefer's
Gearing
Minotaur.
turning into torpedoes. Is he going to find a way through? He is.
Yeah, Griefer just barely dodges torpedoes.
Woo. Gigi able to find what numbers up north could not, and that is a gap in the torpedo salvo.
Yep. Yuming is in trouble in the daring, detected on radar, running away.
Oh.
On fire.
Not radar, he's lit. He's on fire. That's
now
why
he's on fire.
lit right now.
Correct.
Yep.
There's the DCP.
Yep. He finally goes dark.
And all these torps on the Moss will probably miss. Yeah.
Yeah, he had pushed up to get the conga line torps on Gibus's Moskva. That's a really strong cruiser position for a Moskva or a Petro, right? Because you come around the corner,
Yes.
you got to deal with their guns. Like, that hurts. Well, on the back of losing an extra ship, hers advantage now. We had a quick lead flip back. Now it's flipped back again. 20 points and growing, 8 minutes to play.
Right. The key, though, is they're down one ship, and it's going to be hard for, especially for Kimidayo, to get way back in, unless he can just kind of run into the Gdansk. That's the best thing that can happen for them.
I feel like they've got to move these Marseilles off the edge of the map. They've got to get them into the middle of the board and get more work out of them than they're getting right now.
I'm really surprised to see one of them turning around heading south. That's Mouse.
I don't know why Mouse is doing this.
If I was Mouse, I'd be going straight for that Minotaur position. I'd be going straight for that C10 line.
You can tell from the shells that Happy Fanta has been called as the focus target for GGWP. Everybody taking the opportunity. Fanta weathering the fire pretty decently, honestly. The only big hits there coming from Mabuki's Kremlin. But a bunch of little shells adds up to a big shell, Chappie. So eventually this is going to catch up to him.
Yep. Shots out from the Montana on the Minotaur.
Yeah, but that's got to go. Those shells have got to go so far. Surely those Griefer won't be there when those shells arrive.
Surely he won't.
No. That was like a 28-kilometer shot or something crazy. Fanta's going to get some cover here, but they've succeeded in pushing him out of the B cap now. And so now Her's not able to tick up those points. Mabuki's Kremlin sitting in there at a minimum, holding the cap, so no one is getting those points. That slows the rate of lead growth there.
Yes. UMP and the Des Moines now opening up on the Kremlin, getting resets, but I'll tell you, I don't know if I'd want to be like, hi, I exist.
Not comfortable, but the Kremlin right now focused on Fantas Montana getting about 7-8K out of that salvo.
Yep.
More than I expected. Montana's next heal coming up in a couple of seconds.
Kimidayo's...
He desperately needs.
Yep, there it is. Kimidayo's Wooster now getting in on this Kremlin shots.
Ashen takes yet another torpedo. I think she's taken about 3 this game. Still managing to keep the ship functioning and afloat.
Yep.
But now taking a fire that the DCP has gone down. The Kleber getting in on this. The Gearing getting in on this.
So, and this is...
He goes downrange on the Kremlin. They're really focusing
and
Mabuki's Kremlin very
they're
hard.
Succeeding. I mean, look at this Kremlin melt. I've never seen a Kremlin melt this fast before.
Well, the Wooster, that's Kimmy over here on the edge, was chipping in, but it's going to cost Kimmy the ship.
Yeah.
Healing, trying to push through. It's not going to happen. 1,000 HP.
The enemy is about to win.
A few shells will seal this deal. They may get the Kremlin. They've at least pushed the Kremlin off the cap.
In 5 minutes.
Yep, Kremlin is
Kimmy
healing.
now basically trying to just put shells in the Minotaur. There goes the Wushta. Kremlin looks like he's going to pull through.
And Daring Fuzzball's putting out the smoke in front of him, just pulling a John Cena.
So now a 2-ship lead for GGWP, and once they pick up the B cap, and I don't believe Her can prevent it at this stage.
No.
We'll have cap parity, and then it's on GGWP to figure out how they're going to finish, how to try to close this game out. They've got 4.5 minutes to try to figure out how they're going to pick up a lead.
It's not going to happen. Juming now under radar from Greifer, and
yeah, they're going to pick up this kill right here.
Stuck bow in, down he goes.
And there's the lead change back. They're going to pick up Mouse as well, maybe? Nope. not quite.
Well, the gearing is also detected on Minotaur radar. And
Ooh,
he's
I
just
see,
like,
yeah.
he's like, oh, crap, he saw me.
GG, no, yeah, GG with nowhere to run. Yeah, look at the other guy. Look at him. Don't look at me. Look at him. Don't look at me.
Right.
And oops, you're looking at me.
Right. Oh wait, my friend died. Now it's me turn.
now I'm in a world of pain. The Minotaur, Griefer's Minotaur just has to retreat all the way to the 10 line, but becomes incredibly crucial here in the waning minutes of the game.
And this is why you absolutely cannot allow the flank to survive if you're doing something like this. And
Yeah.
you know, this is a great example of a good execution. Her made a plan. They stuck to that plan. They executed that plan brilliantly.
It really did.
And then didn't know what to do after. And you can kind of get that feeling. There's a lot of moving around by the Marsilis, and because of that lack of cohesion, once they had gotten to that initial position that they wanted to, I mean, we see what happens.
I think I disagree with the assessment that they didn't know what they wanted to do after. I think they got there. For starters, I think we have to give GGWP some credit here for the way they reacted to and defended against the push. I think
True.
they did a brilliant job of it.
Mm-hmm.
Ash is going to take another torpedo. Oh, man.
What a punching bag.
Seriously.
Happy Fanta took one as well in the Montana.
So you have to give GGWP some credit here, 100%. Then I think her was like, okay, this push cannot continue from here with the Vermont alive. So what did they do? They focused the Vermont. They chose the right target. It just took them perhaps a little too long, a little extra time to get rid of the Vermont. They finally did, but unfortunately, I think the mistake comes with the St. Vincent. I think if you can keep the St. Vincent in the game longer than they managed to,
Right.
longer past the life of the Vermont, I think all of this changes and it's a successful push. Personal opinion.
It's hard. It's
Oh, yeah.
painful to see. You've got the Minotaur and Charlie 10. Literally, if that Marseille just went farther north, caught him up, boom. I mean, how do you win if you're Marseille versus Minotaur?
You don't.
So
you don't really, right?
That's what I mean, and it's just so.
Yeah.
They
So
were
I'm with
so
you there.
close.
I think I agree with you that probably the two things that I pointed out, and we talked about at the time, the Marseille's kind of swanning around, kind of wanting to spend too much time in smoke. I think you have to chase Griefer to the 10 line.
Yes.
Over there right now, right? You see where Mouse is. Griefer was what, another, let's say 8 kilometers north of there.
Yeah.
I think you have to continue to push the Minotaur back.
Yes.
If he wants to stay in the fight, he has to deal with your guns.
Right. Now, the problem is, if you look at Jeebus's Moskva position, while you're doing that, you are showing some decent side to that Moskva.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those, you're damned if you do it, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah. Here's the other thing that I don't like about her, where her is right now, is that they're going to focus the Des Moines out, right? And that's going to seal the deal.
Yeah.
If they had managed to keep the Des Moines in the game,
About to win.
her could have hung back and played for a late kill that might have flopped the score at the last possible second, right?
Yes.
Because it was still a 40-point game until that Des Moines went out.
Right.
So even despite the misplays, this strategy still might have worked if they had perhaps said, okay, protect the vulnerable ships and preserve and then send the ones that are a little, have got a little more HP, like this Marseille, right? I mean, Mouse's Marseille still has 2 more heals. You're probably not going to kill this ship, right? So you have the opportunity there to maybe work into a position where you could pick up a kill. But in the end, time ticking away. Game's going to go to time, but GGWP is going to pick up this game on Faroe Islands. This was a great game.
This was a fantastic game, yes.
Really,
There it
really
is.
fun back and forth struggle between both teams, but GGWP outlasting her here to come out with a win.
Kind of funny the way that sounded.
Oh yeah, I guess I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, there you go. You almost feel like, it was funny. I was having this conversation. Was it with Minnie? I think it was with Minnie Hannibal, right? There were a couple of teams that signed up with questionable names.
Yeah.
And he sent a couple of them to me and was like, "What do you think about this?" And I was like, "Okay, this is fine. This one is not." Right?
Right.